Hello YouTube, this is my third video covering the pre-NCAA Helms champions of college basketball. We shall cover the Helms champions of the 1920s and 1930s in this video. The first two schools on this list have won back-to-back Helms titles, one right after the other. The 1920 Penn Quakers started the Roaring Twenties with an impressive 22-1 record. The University of Pennsylvania was led by Lon Jordet, who had the services of star athlete George Sweeney. The Helms Foundation decided to award another championship to the Penn Quakers of 1921 as well, probably because of their 21-2 record. This time, the team was coached by Edward McNichol, and Danny McNichol was the team's MVP. This next school happens to be my alma mater, and that university is the University of Kansas. The 1922 Kansas Jayhawks squad would dominate their way to eventually earning a Helms Champions title with a 16-2 record. KU was commanded by legendary coach Fog Allen, and if you are familiar with the Kansas basketball program, you may have heard of the saying, "Pay heed, all who enter, beware of the fog." Paul Endicott would be the team's most outstanding player, not only with this Jayhawk team, but also the following year's team. Not to be outdone, the 1923 Jayhawk team would repeat as Helms champions with a 17-1 record. Another blue blood school would also follow KU up in 1924 by earning its own Helms accolades. This school was the North Carolina Tar Heels. With Bo Shepard's leadership and John Cobb's ball skills, the team compiled a 25-0 record. The Ivy League would once again return to the top of Helms' collegiate basketball glory, with the 1925 Princeton Tigers cruising to a 21-2 record. Head coach Al Whitmer and MVP Art Loeb constructed a team that faced little opposition that season. In 1926, Syracuse would be recognized as the top basketball team in the country by the Helms Foundation. While Lou Andreas mentored his team, Victor Hansen would lead on the court. This led to a 19-1 record that season for the Orange. While famous for its football, Notre Dame basketball team would be crowned Helms champions in 1927. Perhaps with a little luck, Coach George Keogan and John Niokos would battle to secure a 19-1 record that season. The Pitt Panthers of 1928 would be at the top of the collegiate basketball world that season. Under the guidance of Coach Doc Carlson, MVP Chuck Hyatt and crew compiled a 21-0 record that season. Out of the Rockies, the Montana State Bobcats would become the best team in the West and the whole country by the end of the decade. Coached by Schubert Daichi, Cat Thompson and his teammates secured an impressive 36-2 record. For the second time in 3 years, the Pitt Panthers returned as Helms champions to start out the 1930s. With a returning cast of Doc Carlson and Chuck Hyatt, the Panthers clawed their way to a 23-2 record. The following year, Northwestern University would become the second team out of Chicago to win the Helms title in 1931. Compared to the University of Chicago, the Wildcats were led by a new generation of coaches and players, with the likes of Coach Dutch Lonborg and outstanding player Joseph Reif. the team put together a respectable 16-1 record. Back to the state of Indiana, the Purdue Boilermakers would become Helms champions in 1932. Led by Ward Lambert, John Wooden and his teammates would achieve a 17-1 record that season. South of Indiana in Kentucky, the 1933 Kentucky men's team under the direction of famous coach Adolph Rupp and star player Forrest Sale would receive Helms' glory after battling for a 21-3 record. Battling for more respect for teams out west, the 1934 Cowboys of Wyoming would get the Helms honor of being crowned champions. The family duo of Willard Witt and Les Witt would help the team obtain a 36-3 record. In America's largest city, the 1935 NYU men's basketball team would join St. John's as another New York-based Helms recognized champion collegiate basketball team. With the combination of Howard Cahn's leadership skills and Sid Gross's skills on the court, the team got to a 19-1 record that season. Once again in 1936, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish would be recognized by the Helms Foundation as the best team in the country that year. Under the guidance of George Keogan, John Moore, and the rest of the team would fight for a 22-2-1 record that season. The 1937 Stanford Indians would be the last Helms pre-tournament champions. Coached by John Bunn and led on the court by Hank Lucetti, the team would fight for a 25-2 record that season. If you made it to the end of this video, I hope you appreciated my review of college basketball's best teams of the 1920s and 1930s. If you liked this video's content, you might also be interested in my videos covering the Helms College basketball champions of the 1900s and the 1910s. Also, do not forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a blessed day.